We presented today a new integration in our travel intelligence tool, which is based in usage of the app's data, and to showcase the potentiality of this type of data, we presented the study about the footprint of the American travelers in Spain during the summer of 2022. Considering that the US market is a really important market now, for not only for Spain but also for Europe, and we considered that was something that could be interesting. The main takeovers of the presentation would be, for example, where are the Americans from when visiting Spain, right? For example, we identified how there are 10 cities congregating all the visitors from US to our country, but especially New York, Miami, Los Angeles, and San Francisco will be the main points of origin to get to Spain. We even went a step forward and go to analyze the specific neighborhoods where they are from in these cities, which is also included on the report that we are sharing through our blog as well. The profile of the American that visits Spain, it's been also analyzed. So it's known that the visitor from US is a high-end visitor, right? But it's proven by data that they are middle-aged, they are with higher degrees and high education, and the average income or purchase power it's above 75,000 a year, which is something interesting as well. Another thing that we have been commented during the presentation is how they visit us, how the American visit Spain. Do they stay long? Do they stay only in one destination? They do kind of combination of visitings. At that point, we saw that we can see two different patterns in terms of length of stay. When visiting city, urban destinations, they stay normally in between 2-3 days, right? Meanwhile, when they are visiting a vacational destination, a seaside destination like the islands, Balearic or Canary Islands, they're staying longer. They're staying in average around 7 days, which is also normal considering that are more isolated destinations, right? And then how they visit us. 30% of the US visitors to Spain are visiting more than one destination during their trip, right? And among this group of visitors, of these 30%, we can find 60% that are visiting at least 2 destinations, and even 20% that are visiting 3 different destinations during their stay, right? Which is really interesting to analyze the specific routes they do, right, during their stay, in combination of what is the main entrance to Spain, Madrid and Barcelona, and how they combine their visiting in between both points, but also with Andalusia and the coast of the Mediterranean and the islands as well. Another conclusion that we took on the analysis was the preferences, the interest that the American market is showing when visiting Spain. And we did an interesting benchmark between the interest they show before the pandemic and the interest they're showing now, right after the pandemic, right? Because the pattern is changing in terms of interest. Following the global trend, they are much more interested in outdoors activities than before. Still, the main important tourist activities are cultural and gastronomy for the Americans when visiting Spain, but the third used to be sunbathing, beach, etc. And nowadays is natural activities and active activities, surpassing products like, for example, sunbathing or another type of products like family or just nightlife, etc. Right? Also, wellness, it's a product which is growing for the Americans. And finally, the type of accommodation they normally use when visiting Spain. It's also interesting to see how almost 60% of the US visitors to Spain are staying in 4 or 5-star hotel. So high level accommodation is the most used for the Americans during their stay. One of the main challenges that we find nowadays is the ability for destination managers and companies to anticipate the trends and trying to be resilient, agile, by adapting their strategies, their actions, their decisions on the context changes. Since the context is pretty unstable nowadays and uncertain, it's a must having information, updated information in order to be actually agile in terms of making decisions. For the travel sector, I would say is one of the most important events in Europe. So far, we've been present since the first edition in 2020, and we are really happy to be here again in order to coincide and catch up with a lot of partners, not only clients, which are a lot of our clients here, but also international partners that are every year coming here to catch up and having this kind of more specific conversation in terms of travel tech more than just tourism, which is also covered by other events.